him in action, and Don says, "We got some legends. Let's go to Borash." That's not a quote, but that's what he says. In the ring, baby Jeremy Borash introduces the NWA Legends.
The man needs more collars.
Yeah. What did he have right now? 2? 3?
He only had 2, but they were roughly each 7 inches in length.
So out come the Legends, 8-time NWA champion, handsome Harley Race. Dory Funk Jr., no moniker needed. The original fabulous one, Jackie Fargo. This is the one that caught me off guard. The fighting fireman from Mariana.
What? I didn't even hear that.
Yeah. Bullet Bob Armstrong.
I missed that one. At this point, the camera was just trying to figure out who was who, and because there's 2 entrances, and none of the cameramen know any of these legends or stars.
No, and like nobody in the back, nobody in Gorilla is explaining to the director who's coming out what side. So like they film one entranceway, and nothing happens, and then a camera cuts to that guy already halfway down the ramp because they're like, "Oh crap!" And then they announce another guy, and they cut to the entranceway, and it's a legend that has not been introduced yet. And the other legend that they're trying to get is already waiting to get in the ring because it's backed up and everyone's taking too long to get in the ring.
But they have to stay on that guy long enough because they have to get the nameplate up. So he's already like trying to get in the ring, but they're holding him. No, don't go yet.
Don't go yet.
We need the nameplate first.
It was already paid for. We can't. So we also have NWA's first couple, Corsica Joe and Sarah Lee. NWA, this is the weird one to me, like in general. NWA Senior Vice President Bill Behrens.
All these guys I recognize.
And Ricky Steamboat!
Everybody knows Ricky Steamboat. Poor Harley Race.
TNA runs down their accomplishments when they come out. Ferrara makes snide comments, and West says nothing.
He doesn't know what's happening.
This whole, like, he doesn't say anything for like the first 3 segments of the show. He has no clue what's going on.
Well, it's all TNA.
Yeah.
He's putting over everybody. Ferrara, like, gives snide comments and buries the people ever so often, and then West is like laughingly agreeing because he like recognizes that Ferrara's the cool one, so he wants to be cool, so he laughs with him. Yeah. So it's just 2 guys laughing at TNA. He's putting over the old guys, so it just seems like they don't give a shit about tradition, even though that's all he's saying.
Yeah.
I don't understand the company from the start.
I agree with you completely.
Especially, he was like, "Oh yeah, Jackie Fargo. He's a first ballot observer. What was it? First ballot Wrestling Observer Hall of Famer."
Right.
And Ferrara was like, "What is the Wrestling Observer? I don't know what that is." And he was like, "Oh, how dare you not know what that is? It's only the most recognizable news thing." He's like, yeah, sure. Sounds dumb." And West's like, "Ha ha ha." I'm like, I don't know who I'm supposed to believe.
Which is awful because that would have been a good like line for West, who literally doesn't know what that is, and it would have been informative instead of Ferrara saying it, who he knows what it is. Like, so today, he's like, "Oh my God, the crowd is bowing and saluting the legends." Right as the camera cuts to the crowd, dumbfounded and motionless.
Oh yeah, I love that.
Also, right as a very weak chant for Ricky Steamboat starts. Steamboat, Steamboat.
Those are the 2 plants in the crowd.
Yeah, it was bad. Ricky Steamboat thanks everybody for watching here and around the world, and immediately botches by saying,
"It gives me great pleasure to stand in this squared circle, and the many times that I was in this circle, and throughout my wrestling career would someday be a world champion."
He name drops Ric Flair, which gets a pop, and mentions the NWA title, which gets less of a pop. Ricky says he's going to be the special referee for the Gauntlet for the Gold Finals match. My world! Out comes Jeff Jarrett. He says the Gauntlet for the Gold is a joke. Jackie Fargo starts talking over him mid-promo, so you can't hear either of them.
I will say this, as Jeff Jarrett does come out on total non-stop action, this is the 9-minute and 30-second mark of the show.
Yeah.
Where we haven't gotten any action yet.
Not technically, no action.
No action. 9 minutes in. About 10 minutes in.
Fargo gets a huge pop for the one thing you can hear, which is "kiss my ass."
Oh, I heard him say a few things.
Oh.
Like when he was like, "I remember you when you were this high and you were still doo-doo and yellow." I was like, what? Doo-doo and yellow.
I remember when you was a child and you had a horrible disease.
We all thought you were the worst.
So Jackie, he continues on. He's like, "You don't even do the strut like I do. And you know what? You're #1 entry for the Gauntlet." Music hits. No one recognizes it.
He's holding the microphone like you would hold a cell phone if you weren't talking into it.
Right.
He's just like an Italian speaking with his hands.
He's going.
Waving it all over the place.
You
can't hear what he's saying.
No. So music hits, no one recognizes it. Out comes former WWE superstar Ken Shamrock, who says basically the same thing. You know what? This match is crap. But don't worry about that. Worry about me. Music hits. Out comes wrestling's real outlaw, Scott Hall.
I was very happy at Ken Shamrock for being one of the only wrestlers to do math correctly in a battle royal type setting.
Right.
Saying you may throw out 18 other men,
Right.
but you're not going to throw out the 19th, which is me, because there are 20 men. Usually people just say, you're not going to be throwing out 20 other men, which you
and then,
have to be Macho Man to do that.
Right. And then I don't know if Scott Hall is terrible at math or gave something away when he was like, look, I don't know if you should worry about 18 or 19 other guys, but don't worry about it. Just worry about Scott Hall. And I was like, okay.
Well, he was obviously very drunk. That man could not stand up straight that entire promo. He was swaying back and forth and staggering.
Jarrett says, everyone can stick it. Fargo, you're going to regret this, and leaves. And then Ferrara throws it to the back.
Again, with this company, all three men came out, all had the same first message. All three men. Heel, face, face. I don't agree with TNA, and I think this company is dumb.
Start. The start.
All three men.
We're roughly that segment that we just watched was 10 minutes and 40 seconds.
Yeah.
So we're roughly 12 minutes into this show. Ferrara, Don West, Jarrett, Scott Hall, Ken Shamrock, and probably someone I've missed are all dissatisfied with the company that just started.
And TNA is the babyface.
And TNA, yes, and Mike TNA. Ricky Steamboat and Jackie Fargos are the face of this company right now.
Oh my God.
So that was the segment, minute 40. Do you have any thoughts? You want to summarize your thoughts at all, or was it a good segment?
No. You started off talking about nonstop action with a bunch of old guys talking about nonsense, and then everyone in the company burying the company you're in. I tried to get behind it, but I couldn't. I was happy to see Shamrock and Scott Hall. They got that part right.
All right.
I was like, yeah, those guys. But once they started talking, I was like, oh, they're just burying the company and then doing what you already announced, that they're going to be in the Battle Royal.
Right.
So they're just like, yeah, I'm going to be in it. I'm going to win. They didn't do anything.
I don't know. I thought show-wise, it was a good segment because it shows you the history in the series and the title. It sets up your main event. It establishes face and heels in a way.
Mm-hmm.
But it did border on too long, I thought. It was getting a little boring.
You already explained it, but it shouldn't have been the opener.
Right.
Should not have been the opener.
It is what it was.
I immediately just been...
My only complaints, which is some stuff you already mentioned, which is Fargo forgets you have to talk into the mic.
Yeah.
A lot. He starts waving his hand. You don't know myself. Scott Hall, very clearly still dealing with his substance abuse problems.
Yep.
And I'm probably going to say this over and over again, but Mike today, I'll say it right now and get out of the way. Mike today is a guy I either like or I don't, 100% or 0%. When a rookie's in the ring and he's like, this man, he started out in Mexico, and when he's explaining the backstory of a rookie and stuff,
yeah, he's great. Yeah.
Amazing. I love it. When he's talking about the prestige of a title or the history of a feud, great. I'm for it, and it makes it seem realish, right? Yeah. That level of realish that wrestling needs. But when he's interjecting, he misses calls to explain trivia that doesn't need to be said. Like, he'll call moves by their long-term hardcore name when the move already happened. He's missing another move. Mm-hmm. And the cool thing that Don West might have say is already 4 seconds out now, because he was like, what a beautiful con hope tilo Omara
Tira by direction.
Seraton Pole. And you're like,
it's not good when he decides what's important to talk about, because he just goes on and then feels slighted if they don't want to hear it, so he just keeps
There's
going.
one point in it's the Psychosis match where the match is going on and he's like not calling moves because he's explaining to people what Psychosis' name in Mexico. Oh, and that name is based off of his real name in real life. And I was like, dude, he's got 2 fake names. Why are you giving his bank name out? Like, what is wrong with you? Are you co-signing on a house with him? Like, what are you doing?
Bet you guys didn't know this.
We're not supposed to. Oh, Psychosis wrestling for 45 years. Did you know that? Also, his wife's name is Sarah. Yeah. Not related at all. Thought you should know he has a kid too. By the way, anyway,
it's a great comeback here by Marty Jannetty. I don't know if you knew about this about him growing up, but someone once used to try to sell him weed.
Yeah, stuff like that. Marty Jannetty has a great rocker dropper, and you see it in this match. Legends say he hit a body in the Chattahoochee River. I don't know if that's true. Yeah, stuff like that. Also, I hate every time except when it's inappropriate, and I love it.
What?
His fake ass. Whoa! It's awful.
He tries. He pushes
Except
it.
when it's way bad, and I like, that's so bad, it's great.
I like Don West's better. His is so forced, but even though it's slightly believable, it just seems like he's having fun doing it himself. I love Don West.
Yeah. Okay. So that was all the Legends, the slow pace. Now we're actually gonna get some. It starts. Starts hitting some pacing. Segment 2, we go to the back. We get Goldilocks. Who is Goldilocks? TNA's backstage interviewer, a very talented musician who opened for Pink in